listening to the Self Trust Solution podcast with Dawn Leday, episode number 59. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk with you about arguing with reality. If you find yourself stuck wishing things were different, this episode is for you. We'll talk about the cost-benefit analysis of wishing things were different, what changes and what doesn't when we do this, why sometimes we hold on for dear life to arguing with reality, and how to move forward for you instead of against this reality. No matter where you lie in your level of self-trust, there are 5 self-trust secrets you can start practicing to create more goal success. Get your free download today and learn the 5 simple secrets for harnessing self-trust to supercharge your goal success. Say goodbye to self-doubt and confusion and discover the keys to reigniting your passion for your goals. Grab your copy now at theselftrustcoach.com/5 secrets. Sometimes things don't go the way we want or the way we expected, or circumstances happen that we wish didn't. But when we spend time arguing with that reality, thinking about how it shouldn't be that way, how it's not supposed to happen, like you weren't prepared for it, then there is a cost and a benefit to this. And understanding that can help us to move forward in a way that's more intentional. So let's start by examining that cost benefit of wishing things were different. What is the cost? The cost is you stay focused on what is the thing you don't want instead of what can be. And the benefit actually has a cost as well, because it is this perfect excuse to give up, relinquishing all power to the circumstance. But if we can recognize that it doesn't have to be wanted to be true, and it doesn't have to paint the picture of the rest of the story, then we can move forward, because what actually changes and what doesn't when we argue with reality? The truth is, when we do this, when we argue with reality, nothing changes. It is still reality, and yet the only thing that has to change is the way forward. Maybe it shifts. But what also doesn't change is you. You are still the same person with the same capability, the same possibility available to you. There is just this situation that means perhaps a new reflection, a new evaluation of how you move forward. So arguing with reality changes nothing except it pauses forward progress in that exact way. And if we stay focused on what we want to be differently, what shouldn't have happened, then we don't give ourselves that vision of what forward progress can look like for us. But why do we sometimes hold on to what it seems like for dear life, refusing to accept what is? Oftentimes, it's because we mistake acceptance or allowance of what is. We mistake that for an approval or an agreement. Like, you like it. We find that unacceptable. But this resistance costs us what we truly desire in the long run. So, how can we move forward for ourselves instead of against this reality? When circumstances don't align with our plans, it's natural to feel disheartened. However, rather than wasting energy arguing with the reality of what is, we can channel that energy into formulating a plan forward that's for you and for your goals instead of against what has happened. So, one way to think about this is if you were planning on going after a particular position, a new job perhaps, and you don't get that job, you're turned down for it. It doesn't mean necessarily that your plans are gone, that you don't have this goal to up level in your career. It just means that particular way in this instance isn't it. So instead of arguing with how it was supposed to be different, instead you can look at how can I use this and move forward still to create what I want. That's the power that we have in that moment of reflection. Of course, allow for the disappointment of this change, this circumstance that isn't aligned with what you want, and not letting it change your goal or your belief in yourself moving forward. So, what will you take away from this episode? My goal is you to separate what is happening around you from what is possible for you. To view unwanted circumstances less as a stop sign and more as a choice point, an invitation to take a detour, maybe that might actually end up being the road to success. In some cases, faster. In some cases, maybe a little bit longer. And it doesn't change you. And so releasing the idea that acceptance would equal approval or agreement, and instead give yourself permission to focus less on the what is that you don't like and more on who you will become on the other side of it, what you can create with that circumstance being true, with that reality as it is. Recognize that you are the same capable, resilient, and full of potential human that you were before. And no circumstance can change that. The way may be different, maybe even the how, but the who is the same. Thank you for joining me today on the Self-Trust Solution Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a review. This helps me reach new listeners, continue to create content, and brings me joy in my mission to serve. Join us next week for episode number 60. Thanks for tuning in and have a trust-filled week. Are you ready to achieve your goals without the pain of doubt, fear, and worry? Join the Self-Trust Lab, where we're re-engineering your self-trust for massive achievement. Don't miss out on this exciting new way to achieve your goals. Your best self is yet to come. Join us at theselftrustcoach.com/the Self-Trust Lab. See you inside.